These are all things that people who want you to stay broke for the rest of your life teach you.
But talking about these new agents, right? I would say probably a large portion of our audience are new agents getting started, trying to figure this thing out called life insurance. I would say the majority of them probably have never been to an event like this or been to any type of event to invest in themselves. And as Chris alluded to, we're so focused sometimes, we're so zoomed in on our day-to-day routine. I got to see this many people, got to sell this many apps, that they can never really take a step back and invest in themselves. What would you say to a new person? Because I know it was different for me, but they don't really understand the power of event, being new, trying to figure things out because of the finances it costs, the travel it takes to get there, all the arrangements, the time away from your family, away from work, away from running your leads, or if you are running leads. How do you think that mindset is different from of somebody who's never been to an event versus coming out of that event and their mindset maybe going to another one?
The thing you talked about, and there's a key word there, is cost. Costing time away, the financial cost to go to an event. We have the same conversation with leads. There is not a lead cost. There isn't a lead cost. There's a lead investment. An investment is putting your money, which is a tool. It's a tool to generate wealth. Putting your money into an investment like leads allows you to make more money. So, you put $3,000 in, you can make $9,000 back. Like, very reasonable. You can do that. So it's that same thought process in an event. And if this is a new concept, I totally understand it because it was new for me, that you put in $3,000 into an event. And it's interesting because you will see in some of these events tiered pricing.
Yeah.
And people are looking at cost. And the funny thing to me is that the energy is equal and opposite. So money, energy, right? So you put in a certain amount in, you will get that back. If you put 3,000 in, you'll get 9,000 worth back, right? Does that make sense? You follow me?
Absolutely.
It's energy. And we were playing golf yesterday, and I hit a worm burner, and there was this little ball.
Will you describe for the listeners what that is?
It's when your ball doesn't go in the air. And there was a little retaining wall that my golf ball hit, and I crushed this thing. I crushed it, and it almost came completely back to me after I hit that.
It went about 120 yards straight down, hit a retaining wall, and then almost came back to your feet.
120 yards. And that's how it works. Like, that's how energy works. If you put this much energy, you're going to get it back. You're going to get it back. Hopefully golf shots, it goes farther, not like mine. But that is the image, that whatever you put in, you get it back.
Well, you get it back times with a multiplier. It's an exponential exchange.
Yeah.
And so if you put hardly anything in, you get anything back because you haven't committed anything.
Attitude, finances, whatever it is.
I will say this, that most people, when they think about spending money on themselves, they always question because they think of it as a cost, like you said, right? Yes. Especially if you've had a job and if you've been programmed for a job all of your life. You've always been taught, to save, right? Don't spend more than you make, live within your means. These are all things that people who want you to stay broke for the rest of your life teach you, right? Now, I'm not saying go spend more than your means, but there's a difference between spending and investing. Spending is when you go blow money on TVs and cars and all kinds of stuff that has no income producing value to it. An investment is when you invest in something for a hope of an equal or greater return on that investment. And there's value in that because it has a perpetual return. It's not an individual or a singular return. It's a perpetual return. When you make an investment in yourself, which is your biggest asset, that is a return for life because the principles that you will walk away with from that event will impact you and your decision-making for the rest of your life. People who are taught to think broke look at it as a cost. They will say, tickets are $497 to go to that event, and I've got to travel there? Oh, I can't afford it. Really? You're making $48,000 a year. You're broke. You've got a credit card debt of $8,000. You're wondering how you're going to fix the transmission in your car, which you know is getting ready to go out. And you're saying you can't afford an investment in yourself that can change your economic future for the rest of your life. And you're saying you can't afford that, but somehow you'll spend money on Starbucks and fast food and movies and Netflix streaming and Hulu and all the other crap.
Yeah.
And you won't make the investment in yourself.
That's what we
You can't
call-
afford not to.
Right.
It's the dumbest thinking ever. Think about how much money we spend in college. Right? What's a 4-year degree cost right now for a traditional college path? It's like close to $80,000 to $100,000 when you think residence, travel, food, the tuition. And what does it come out? It produces 62% of the people have a job in an area that doesn't even require a degree. Yet we spend $100,000 on that. And then when we say you should invest $5,000 to $10,000 in yourself each year in learning and education, people go, "Oh my gosh, you are crazy. I can't do that. I can't do that."
Right. And so when we go to these events, when we get excited from these events, I mean, there is a transformation that happens from traveling to it or deciding to buy that initial ticket all the way from coming out of it.
Yes.
And that's what we want to talk about today. We want to talk about these main principles that you get from these events. And Chris, what's going to be our first one we're going to talk about?
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you got value out of it, please subscribe right here and this button, this button, or you can continue watching videos there. Thanks for watching.